All right, Brock. So we've had a lot of interest from really the retiring kind of boomer generation, right? Like a lot of these, they call it the silver sell-off, right? And you know, the boomer generations in their 70s and their 80s at this point, and they're looking to exit their assets in some ways, especially if it's an owner-occupied building. So for this group, really it's all groups, but that's the group we're running into a lot. What are some of the things they could start to do to prep for that sale?
Okay, yeah, that's a great question. So there's a couple things that you can do to prep. You know, let's start with if it's an investment sale, right? You've got a business in there, there's leases involved. You're going to want all of your financials in order, right? So I have a lot of my sellers work closely with their CPA months ahead of time to get everything organized, everything ready. That way it's as smooth as possible.
Or authorize us to do it.
Yeah,
right? You know, we can take you right out of the process. We'll work directly with the CPA, and we can get those docs, or do it yourself. Either whatever's best for you.
Especially this time of year, because CPAs don't even answer their phones right now; they're buried. But anyway, you know, we want to look at rent rolls. We want to look at profit and loss, balance sheets, deposits, the lease terms.
Right.
All of these things matter. Expirations, rent escalations, reimbursements, CAM charges, the nets. Every little detail is going to add value to your sale. So we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and we've got all of our, you know, information in order.
And if they have a lease that's coming up soon and you plan on exiting the building, get to us quickly. Get to whoever you trust. Ideally, it's us. Get to whoever you trust quickly, because you could have the best building with the worst lease,
100%.
and now you're in trouble. You've cost yourself millions of dollars, potentially tens of millions.
Yeah, I mean,
how big your business
we see it every day,
so,
every week. You know, people just leaving money on the table. You know,
crazy.
So it's very important.
It's not a well-written
strategize.
lease, and now who wants to inherit something that has holes like that, right?
Exactly.
So that's a big challenge.
Yeah.
What about some other things? Okay, so those are all financials. What are some other things that can start to prep?
You know, you want to make sure obviously title's clean. You know, we do that for you as well. We run title, we make sure that there's no issues there. And then the physical condition of the property is really the most important thing. In the major ticket items are like the roof, HVAC, your plumbing, your electricity, and parking lot. So we want to look at those 5 major things. We don't want somebody coming and trying to beat us up on price and way overvalue. You know, it might be a $15,000, $20,000 fix, but the buyers, you know, think, well, I'm going to lowball them on this and I'm going to offer way less than that. So in a lot of cases, it makes sense to take care of the problems before they arise.
Sure.
Just to put the money, keep the money, keep it in the pocket.
Yeah, buyer, you might have somebody that you've worked with for a long time that'll do it way cheaper than whatever buyer is coming in.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Especially the roof stuff. Like we always find there's leaks all over the place. Like just get it patched. You know, just get it patched. It's not that big of a deal.
Absolutely. So, exactly. Yeah. A lot of times it's just a couple patches. You don't need a full roof replacement. Right. You know, so patch the leaks. You know, fill the cracks in the parking lot and what have you. So there's a lot of different ways to make sure the property shows better and to protect yourself from buyers coming in and lowballing and trying to beat you up on price, especially in the due diligence period. So we help you with all that. We cover all that. We're veterans. We've been through it all. So
we'd also want to know if you have any pending litigation on the property, right? Or against, if you're an owner op and you've got the business, against the business, right? So those sort of things are super important, just so we have perspective on what they'd be inheriting potentially, or when it would be resolved.
Yeah, and then I think the last thing is just operating expenses, you know, taxes, insurance, utilities, things of that nature. So yeah, and you know, we work months ahead of listing the property. We put a game plan together to strategize to maximize the opportunity, and you know, as long as we've got all of our ducks in a row, we've seen beautiful results.
Yeah, and if we're able to help them maximize the opportunity, we both win, right? Yeah, now the asset's worth more money to you, and higher commissions. So
100%.
Both, it's a win-win to maximize that asset for you. So if you have any question on how to prep, or if you're interested in selling, what next to do for your commercial building, go ahead and give us a call. We'd love to connect with you. Thank you.